Welcome everyone to this part 4 series of the basic training. Actually, this is your bonus webinar, and we'll be talking about the silver training, how to get to silver, what silver is, what it looks like, and how to get there. So, I want to encourage you that this is a lot of nuts and bolts training. I want to challenge you and encourage you. If this is your first video that you have seen, I want to encourage you to go back and review sessions 1, 2, and 3, because that's going to give you the foundation and the fundamentals of truly how to be successful in Advocare. But if you've already reviewed those, then this is the cream on the icing on the cake in terms of really help you understand and how you're going to get to silver. So before we get started, let me just introduce myself. My name is Denise Novicki. I am Diamond Distributor in Advocare. I've been an avid product user for over 12 years. I've been a hobbyist advisor probably for 8, and I've been a true business builder for 3 years. So as you already know, there's different relationships involved in Advocare, and so I'm just an example of one of those many different options and how you grow into your business in Advocare. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we understand what really silver is all about, we have to understand how we get paid in Advocare. And you may know this and you may not, so let's just review this. So we get paid 5 ways. The first is retail sales, and that's very simply put, you retail product to your marketplace and you earn retail commissions. Wholesale commissions is when someone wants to join your team and get a discount on their products. Okay, and the reason why retail sales and wholesale commissions are a different color than the overrides and leadership bonuses is because this is really how, when you get first started in Advocare, this is primarily how you are going to get paid, through retailing and through wholesale commissions. That is getting product out into the marketplace. And if you've been around Advocare for any period of time, you'll hear that we retail to recruit. And so we're getting product, massive product out into the marketplace. And so primarily, if you get paid on ways 1 and 2, that's through products, okay? But 3 and 4 and 5 are really when overrides and leadership bonus and rookie bonus, that is when you're in team development or business development of Advocare. That's when you start helping other people be successful in their business and help put money in their own pockets. So this is number 3, an override is when you have someone that joins your business that becomes a fully qualified advisor. They're at the advisor level. So you're at the 40%, they're at the 40% too. So there's no longer a wholesale commission that's paid out, but an override kicks in. Anywhere from 5 to 7%. Ideally, if you're interested in this business and you want to earn silver, you want that 7% override. So we'll talk about a little bit more of that in detail in just a minute. But the leadership bonus is directly linked to your override. So it's important for you to understand how you calculate overrides and how to look for them in your reports. And we'll be going over that in detail for you today. But understand the leadership bonus is an additional bonus on top of your override if you hit certain benchmarks. So, and then the rookie bonus obviously is your first 3 pay periods as you're a fully qualified advisor. You have the ability to earn an additional $500 bonus just by doing the fundamentals of the business. And I'll go into detail about what that's all about. And obviously we have trips. Advocare puts out 2 incentive trips a year. We want to encourage you to run for those trips, because the reality is when you run for those trips, you build an incredible business that pays you for life. So that's how we get paid. But we're going to be focusing, the reason why number 3 and number 4 are larger than number 1, number 2 is because that's where we're going to be focusing in on today, is because if you are wanting to earn a leadership pin or get paid a leadership bonus, you're going to be focusing specifically on business development in terms of what are your teammates, how are you helping your teammates advance their business. So let's talk about how to calculate that override. Well, override is very simply put, this is how the formula on how to calculate override. So now understand that override is calculated again on retail volume of your fully qualified advisors. So if you've got people that are 20, 30, 25%, you don't get override off of them. It's only your fully qualified advisors, and it's the retail 3 levels deep off of your advisor's volume. So you take the retail value from your advisor's levels, divide it in half, and that's what we call business volume. Okay? And whatever that business volume is, you times that by 7%, and that is how you calculate your override for that particular leg of business. But you know what? That's kind of, that you have to use a calculator for that, so I say keep it simple. You know, for every $30 retail volume that your advisor's organization produces, just know that that's $1 override for you. So you do the math. $3,000 worth of volume equals $100 worth of override, and so that's where you're going to be seeing these numbers. So I say keep it simple. If you're trying to calculate, you can calculate this in your head real quick. If you've got, you know, $90 worth of retail volume, then that means you've got $3 of override, and so on and so on. So that's, keep it simple. 30 equals $1 in override. 30 retail sales equals a $1 override. Really simple. Let's talk about the leadership bonus that is directly linked to calculating override. And so I like to show this analogy because at the very top you see the silver bonus. And the silver is your first leadership level, and I'll be going into that in just a minute, but understand that you need $3,000 worth of retail volume to calculate a $100 override, which will give you a 3% bonus. Okay? So as you see to the far, if you see here, this is you, and this is your friend, your fully qualified advisor, and again, the cumulative retail volume, $3,000, equals your first bonus, which is right up here. So if you want that additional 3% on top of that 7%, you'll need to have $3,000 worth of volume in your advisor's legs. That will calculate out at $100. So simply, if you want to go to gold, you're going to need $500, which is $15,000 worth of retail volume, and so on and so on. But again, we're focusing on silver because that's the first of many. So let's talk about why silver. Well, obviously, it's the gateway to all of the other PIN levels. We love, and you know what, when I look back on my career in Advocare, you know, silver was most significant for us because it helped us. We just started developing a team, and we started learning how to be not only doing the things that we need to do to build our business, but help supporting our other teammates be able to do the same. So why silver? Well, it's the gateway to all other PIN levels. Also, you get a pay raise. We just talked and we went over a little detail about that extra 3%. Well, you know what? On average, the silver distributor in 2012 earned a little over $12,000 a year. That's an extra $1,000 a month of their discretion, you know, with part-time effort using their discretionary time. That is significant for many, many families across the nation. And so you have a wonderful solution, financial solution, if you can help people get to silver and earn an extra $1,000 a month using their discretionary time. But it's also why silver is part of the LEADS program. When you start hitting silver, you are eligible to get into the LEADS program, and basically what the LEADS program is free business for you. You know, if someone goes and learns about Advocare and they're not talking to an individual, maybe they see it on TV or they've heard about it on Facebook, they'll go to advocare.com and it'll ask, who do you know? And they'll go, well, we don't know anybody. So they'll put in their zip code, and guess what? The people that are on the LEADS program that are close to that zip code will be featured, so they can pick and choose someone to call, and that is free business. So you definitely, why silver? You want to be a part of the LEADS program so you can be eligible for free business. So there are some qualifications that you have to each hit for the LEADS program, but get back in touch with the person who's mentoring you in the business, and they can talk to you more in detail about that. But that is huge. Also, silver is the first step towards national leadership team. You know, there's so many benefits of being on the Advocare's national leadership team, but just one of them that might resonate with you is, you know what, $100,000 life insurance policy is paid for you by Advocare if you earn leadership twice in a row, national leadership team. So, you know, Advocare corporate takes care of their distributors, and that's just one of the ways that they do that. So why silver? Well, there you go. Just some 3 reasons why you want to hit silver. Okay, so let's talk about what does silver look like, okay? Well, let me talk about the qualifications. Again, we said this is going to be the nuts and bolts. So, you must be a fully qualified advisor. If you don't know what that advisor term means, then you need to definitely get in touch with the person who introduced you to Advocare, and they can talk to you about that. But you must be a fully qualified advisor. And you need to have a fully qualified advisor in your organization to even qualify for silver, okay? And I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain these 2 examples next to right here in just a minute. But you need to have $1,000 PGV, which is personal group volume. This is that personal group volume is simply any of your personal purchases, any of your retail customers' purchases, and anybody that's a distributor that's not at the advisor level. That's what PGV is. So you need a minimum of 1,000 in order to capitalize on that silver bonus. If you don't, and to gain that override, that full 7%. So let's say you don't have $1,000 in. Maybe you only got 500 in. Well, you know, it's going to only calculate 5% and it negates you from being able to earn that additional 3% silver bonus. So always, always, always strive for that 1,000. And actually, if you're building a business, I'm going to show you in just a minute how you even want it to be even more than that, because that's just the minimum. But understand that's the minimum that you need, that's required in order to earn that silver bonus. So, and then you need to have, again, calculated an override. That's another thing that we look for in terms of qualifying for silver. You need to have a minimum of $100 in override. And we talked about how that's calculated. So again, $30 of retail volume equals 1 override. So $3,000 worth of retail volume equals a $100 override. So that's why we focus on that. So let's talk about these 2 scenarios here. We've got you, you're a fully qualified advisor. You've got your fully qualified advisor underneath you. That's why you're in the green. You have your minimum of 1,000. And your advisor recruits an advisor, okay? So they come in. That $3,000 is PGV volume for that advisor right there, but that is a $100 override for you because it's calculated under a fully qualified advisor. So again, you have hit silver in this scenario. In this scenario, let's say you have your 1,000 in. You recruited a new advisor, and let's say this recruit is on fire, and in the same pay period they recruit an advisor. Well, the really cool thing is that because this will calculate as your PGV volume, but the volume underneath here would actually calculate as an override for you because this has already been PGV volume, and so anything during the same pay period that's beyond the $3,000 will turn into override. So this is another scenario of how you can accomplish silver in 1 pay period. So let's talk about how you get your PIN. Okay, so this is a pretty PIN we see here. You have to hit it 2 times in a row. So the first pay period you get $100 in override. You're in advisor, you're in silver qualification, or you're in PIN qualification. It could be gold qualification or what. But in this scenario, this case, $100 override, you're in silver qualification. That next pay period, you have to duplicate it and get another $100 in override, and that allows you, your PIN. You earn your PIN. Basically, what that means is Advocare Corporate recognizes that you're a silver leader in Advocare, and they'll send you a PIN and recognize it on reports and such. So huge honor when you accomplish that, but understand that you got to do it 2 pay periods in a row in order to earn your silver PIN and to be recognized as a silver leader. Okay, so let's talk about how to get to silver with helping your advisors earn this rookie bonus. Now, new structure was launched pretty recently ago where you have 3 pay periods to generate 3 new distributors and generate $3,000 of PGV within those new distributors. Okay, so I'm going to show you when you're focusing on helping your teammates win a rookie bonus, how that helps you get to silver. Because you know what I love most about Advocare, it's all about helping other people accomplish and having success. But you know what the great thing about our compensation plan, when you help other people achieve success, you automatically get paid. So as you see here in this example, this is an example of someone that was eligible for the bonus from December 18th through February 4th. And as you see here, they've recruited 8 distributors, so they've met their minimum of 3, and they've gotten their $3,000 and over their $3,000 requirement. So this tracker is eligible for anybody that's a newly fully qualified advisor. And so let me talk about this. In order to receive the bonus, it has to be 3 new distributors after your fully qualified advisor. So if you've recruited and you've helped your teammate recruit some people before they're fully qualified advisor, those distributors don't count. It has to be new distributors after they're fully qualified. So I want to make that clarification. And then that $3,000 worth of volume has to go through those distributors. So it can't be your personal volume or anybody retailing product directly from you. So let me show you what that's going to look like in terms of how you're going to get to silver by helping someone earn the rookie bonus in 1 pay period. Now the reality is that people have up to 3 pay periods to earn that rookie bonus. But if you lead with strength and talk about, let's just do it in 1, it's minimal. Everybody can achieve the rookie bonus in 1 pay period. So why not go for it? Why not delay your $500 bonus an additional month? You know, get it right away. Get it within that first 2 weeks. So here is an example of you've got your $1,000 PGV, and here's your fully qualified advisor. And this pay period in the red, he's recruited 3 distributors. Distributor number 1 and number 3 are just retailing. They're signed up for the discount. They did a 24-day challenge and got their discount. They're not interested in the business. But distributor number 2 is definitely interested in the business, and they place a full advisor order. So your advisor, your fully qualified advisor's PGV volume or PGV is $3,400. So you're well over the $100 override, and you've helped your advisor earn $500. So it's a win-win. So let's talk about example number 2 of working with 2 advisors, and maybe they shoot for 1 pay period, but they can't make it. So let's talk about how it still can use this to your advantage. So here you are. You have your $1,000 PGV volume, as always, and you're working with 2 new fully qualified advisors. Well, advisor number 1 recruits 3 distributors, so they've met their minimum of distributors, but distributor number 1 and number 2 and number 3 have a total of, I don't know how to get that back. Hold on just a minute. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Apologize. Okay, distributor advisor number 1 has a total of 3 distributors with $1,300. And then they have retail sales of $400. That's a total of $1,700. Okay, in advisor number 1. That doesn't get you to a $100 override yet. So we're focusing on advisor number 2, because the reality is with silver, it can come from multiple advisors. It doesn't have to come from just 1 advisor. So advisor number 2, you got $1,300 because you have $600 in sales, and then why does that keep doing that? I am so sorry, guys. I hope. This is live, guys. Sorry. All right, the phone's ringing and everything. So advisor number 2 here has $1,300. Now the combined PGV with advisor number 1 and number 2 gets you to $3,000. So this is an example of you're helping your fully qualified advisors earn that rookie bonus. They're going to have to use more than one or pay period, but by shooting for the rookie bonus and speaking with strength about the rookie bonus and helping them build their business, you've achieved silver because they're starting the flow. So the really cool thing is the next pay period, you're going to still work with advisor number 1 and number 2 and say, let's continue. So what kind of volume can we bring in? Who can we talk to? And so you'll be able to hit silver again next pay period. So again, great job. You know, after you've helped them earn that rookie bonus, not only are you hitting silver, but they are also getting a check for $500, and that's fabulous. So let's talk about the steps to silver. Filling your pipeline. This is an important concept in Advocare that if you do not understand and you do not grasp, that sometimes it can be discouraging. People want instantaneous results. And the reality is that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme business, okay? There is a thing called lag time. And if you don't understand it, it can take you out of the game. So lag time is simply typically 30, 60, 90 days where you're filling in the pipeline. So if you see here in November, you have a bunch of people going into the, you're sampling, you're sparking people, you're getting them, you're starting them as a retail customer, eventually transitioning them to a distributor, and then 90 days after the products have simmered in their body and they're looking amazing and they're excited, they feel great, you talk to them about the business, or you reintroduce the business to them if they've said no in the beginning and they say yes. And so come down that, after those 90 days, you're going to have a few people that say, okay, this business makes sense for me. And that's what lag time is. And so understanding is that in order for you to hit silver, you've got to go through this lag time process. It just doesn't, you know, you don't sign up as an advisor one pay period and necessarily hit silver in the next. Are there people that do that? Yes. Is it the norm? No. And so be okay with having your journey, your process be your process. So it doesn't matter whether it's 30, 60, 90 days, but understand that there is a lag time process, and sometimes if you don't remember that, you'll get frustrated and it takes you out of the ball game. So we want to make sure that everybody that joins Advocare, they understand this concept and this business flow so that they understand what I do today, I'm going to see the results in 90 days, not necessarily tomorrow. So in this scenario, it says if you put 100 prospects into the pipeline, you're going to be able to get 30 people on product. And then from those 30 retail customers, the odds are you're going to find 3 business builders. And that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for those 3 business builders who say yes to the business. So this is the business flow concept that you want to be mindful of. So let me show you real time what that looks like. This is actually one of our distributors who just pinned silver. She's been a product user for a while. She shared Advocare with her friends and family very haphazardly. Then about 60 to 90 days, she said yes to the business after being on product for a while. And so what this scenario is, I want you to look at the volume and earnings report here. And so as you see here, we talked about filling the pipeline with lots of product users. Well, if you see in this report of January 21st and February 4th, she had $8,500 and $7,000, almost $500. That's a lot of product users that are reaching the advisor level. So you have to fill in that pipeline. So that's why I say your PGV, you know, the minimum is 1,000, but we want you to have, you know, sorry guys, we want you guys to have this as well, okay? So this is a lot more than 1,000, but what that means is she has a lot in the pipeline and they're starting to come in. So as you see here, January 7th, she closed out the pay period. This is the first time she actually started earning override. So this is when she started transitioning her distributors to advisors and started duplicating the process. So January 7th, she earned $35 in override off of one fully qualified advisor. Then if you go to pay period number 2, which is January 21st, she added 3 distributors, or she converted 3 distributors into fully qualified advisor and started earning override off of them. And so this is her first pay period of advice. So she went into advisor qualification January 21st with $100 of override, 107, okay? And as you see, she got her leadership bonus of 3% on top of that override earning, okay? So she went into advisor qualification. She pinned advisor February 4th with $150 worth of override, okay? So that is great because, again, she had 4 distributors or 4 fully qualified advisors that she was receiving override off. So notice that none of these were $100 override yet, okay? But the combined volume of override off of all those 4 advisors was $150, okay? And again, that was, so as you see here in her override earnings, she got an additional leadership bonus on top of hitting that $100 override, okay? So we are, and currently we're in the middle of this pay period, and she already has her 1,000 minimum in, and right now it doesn't show here her override, but her override's well over 150 right now. She's actually close to 200. So this is where, you know, we want to go back to that law of lag time, and once you, if you do it right and you get a lot of people on product, and you put them in the pipeline, they'll start popping out and you start duplicating this process. And so this is an example of someone that just hit silver and went into advisor qualification. And notice the progression of 1 advisor to 3 to 4, okay? And working with, and as you see, actually this particular, and you don't see the names, but I know the names, this particular advisor right here had 35. It progressed to $39 in override, and then it progressed to almost 60. So this lady is doubling her business. So it's not going down, it's going up. So we're filling in our pipeline. We're using the success system, and all this is just this is stuff that's already been trained on in series 1, 2, and 3 of the basic training series. So this is, we're just repeating this and just reminding you of this. The importance of one-on-ones, two-on-ones, 3-way calls, mixers, large group events such as business opportunity meetings, and regional events that lead ultimately into success goal. So utilizing the success system is key to your business. It's key to you getting to silver, and it's key to you duplicating, because remember, we retail to recruit. And so how do we, so we duplicate that, and we duplicate it through the success system. And ultimately, we want to set pay period goals. These goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and definitely time-based. Now, not only do you want to hit certain goals, but you want your team to have goals as well. So this is when you sit down with your sponsor, you set your goals for yourself, and then you help your teammates that are working towards advisor set their goals as well. So what does this look like? $3,000 PGV volume for you. How many distributors do you want to recruit this pay period? How many distributors do you want your teammates to recruit? How many new qualified advisors do you want to pull in this pay period? How many 3-way calls are you going to be doing with your sponsor? How many 3-way calls are your team going to be doing with you? How many mixers are you going to be hosting? How many, how many webinars are you plugging into? Or, those kind of things. Set those pay period goals and help your teammates be accountable to those goals. And ultimately, success goal is, so important in order for you to advance your business. Silver is the first leadership level to in that leadership ladder. And ultimately, we want you to hit silver, but we don't want you to stay at silver, because we understand if you do more, you get paid more. So we want everyone to go to success school, and we want your team of people there with you, because ultimately that's where they see the bigger vision. That's where they get trained by the top leaders in the country, and that is where they pull out their true potential, and dreams are created and fulfilled at success school. So You know, the next success goal is in August, I think August 8th through 10th. And you want to make sure that you go ahead and mark that on your calendar and plan on attending. And how many people can you bring there will directly reflect of how many PIN level advancements you can make between now and next successful. So that's it, guys. I encourage you to review Basic Training 1, 2, and 3. This is your bonus series of how to get to silver. You can review this over and over again so that you can understand how to get to silver. Ultimately, get back to the person who's mentoring you in this business. They're the ones that are going to help you succeed the most. So we love you guys, and we look forward to seeing you go to silver and beyond.